Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Codes, DTC, listed P0351 through P0356 pertain to ignition coil circuit malfunctions for each individual cylinder in the Honda Odyssey from 2011 to 2017. These error codes indicate issues with the ignition coils that are responsible for delivering the high voltage spark needed for ignition in each of the engine cylinders. Specifically, DTC P0351 refers to the malfunction of the number 1 cylinder, while P0352 through P0356 refer to the subsequent cylinders. The ignition coils are typically located on top of their respective spark plugs, directly responsible for creating the electrical spark. A malfunction can result in poor engine performance, including misfires, reduced power output, and increased emissions. Understanding the root cause is crucial for effective repair, necessitating step-by-step troubleshooting. The main components affected by DTC P0351 through P0356 are the ignition coils responsible for each cylinder. These coils are strategically located on top of the engine spark plugs, allowing them to deliver high-voltage electrical pulses necessary for igniting the air-fuel mixture in each respective cylinder. When any of these ignition coils malfunctions, it leads to an inability to properly ignite the fuel mixture, resulting in performance issues. Each code corresponds to a specific cylinder, thereby indicating which coil may need attention. Identifying which specific coil is causing trouble forms the foundation for targeted diagnostics and subsequent repairs. Therefore, it's essential to understand the relationship between the coils and their importance in engine performance. In troubleshooting these DTCs, several possible causes should be considered. Firstly, faulty ignition coils are the most common culprit. They may have degraded over time or experienced damage. Additionally, poor electrical connections can disrupt the communication between the ignition coil and the powertrain control module, PCM, leading to misfires and performance issues. Loose terminals may also result in intermittent connectivity, which can trigger these DTCs. All of these factors should be investigated to diagnose the root cause accurately. It's essential to examine and rectify any visible damage or wear in the ignition system to ensure optimal functioning and prevent future issues. Several symptoms can arise when dealing with DTC P0351 through P0356. Engine misfires are the most prevalent symptom, leading to rough idling and reduced overall engine efficiency. These misfires occur when one or more cylinders fail to ignite the air-fuel mixture properly due to ignition coil failure. As a result, drivers may notice a decrease in power output, making acceleration sluggish. Furthermore, the incomplete combustion from misfiring cylinders causes increased emissions, potentially leading to failing an emissions test. Awareness of these symptoms is critical, as they can indicate not only ignition coil issues, but may also affect overall vehicle performance and compliance with environmental standards. The first troubleshooting step involves turning the ignition switch to the on-to position without starting the engine. This allows the technician to access the onboard diagnostic system. At this stage, it's essential to record all freeze-frame data, which captures specific engine parameters at the time the DTC was set. This data provides invaluable insights into the operating conditions that led to the malfunction. Reviewing general troubleshooting information laid out in the service manual is also crucial, as it provides guidelines on the standard protocols for addressing DTCs. This foundational step sets the stage for an informed and systematic approach to diagnosing the ignition circuit issues reported by the DTCs. After gathering initial data, The next step is to clear the DTC using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. The HDS is a specialized tool designed to interface with the vehicle's onboard diagnostic system. Once the DTCs are cleared, it's crucial to restart the engine. This process resets the monitoring system, allowing it to recheck the ignition circuits. Clearing the DTCs prepares the system to detect any persistent issues that may occur upon engine startup. It also helps differentiate between current problems and potential intermittent failures, which can be crucial for accurate diagnostics. Ensuring that the system is reset is a vital step in confirming any ongoing issues within the ignition circuitry. Upon starting the engine, the next critical action is to check for either pending or confirmed DTCs once again using the HDS. This step allows the technician to understand if the issues noted initially have reoccurred or if they were transient faults. The appearance of any ignition coil-related DTC at this stage indicates an active problem that requires immediate attention. If no DTCs are present, it suggests that the issue may have been intermittent, which can lead to a different line of investigation focused on electrical connections. These steps are pivotal in verifying the ongoing viability of the ignition circuitry and determining the next best course of action. If any of the DTCs P0351 through P0356 show up, the diagnostic process continues to the next step, which is aimed at isolating the problem further. However, if there are no DTCs present, it indicates a potential intermittent failure. This scenario calls attention to the physical connections and terminal integrity at both the ignition coil and the powertrain control module, PCM. Loose or corroded connections can often lead to sporadic issues that do not consistently trigger DTCs, but can affect vehicle performance. Investigating these connections thoroughly can uncover hidden problems and is essential for ensuring the reliability of the ignition system. Once an ignition coil-related DTC is confirmed, the next step is to turn the ignition switch to the lock 0 position. This action ensures that the electrical system is completely powered down, allowing for safe handling of the ignition coil components. The next crucial step is to exchange the ignition coil from the problem cylinder with one from another cylinder that is known to be functioning correctly. This exchange helps ascertain whether the problem lies with the ignition coil itself or if it is related to another factor such as wiring or the PCM. Upon completing this step, it will be easier to determine the faulty component based on subsequent tests. Thus, this coil exchange serves as a practical method to narrow down the root cause of the ignition issue. After exchanging the ignition coils, it's time to start the engine again. This allows the technician to see if the newly installed coil from the working cylinder now triggers a DTC at the cylinder that previously had the faulty coil. If a DTC does indicate a problem in the exchanged cylinder, it confirms that the ignition coil is the faulty part that needs replacement. Should no DTC appear, this indicates that the issue may be related to other components or wiring, leading to the next steps in the diagnostic process. This step is critical for establishing a direct link between the ignition coil and the DTC, confirming the specific component requiring attention and ensuring the effectiveness of the troubleshooting efforts. If no DTC was triggered at the exchanged cylinder, the next action is to again turn the ignition switch to the lock 0 position. This prepares the system for further diagnostics without the risk of electrical interference. The technician should then proceed to check the number B11 IG coil 15A fuse located in the underhood fuse relay box. This fuse plays a pivotal role in protecting the ignition coil circuits from overloads and shorts, and a blown fuse may cause an entire circuit failure. Inspecting this fuse is essential for ensuring that power is being supplied correctly to the ignition coils. If verified as intact, the process continues to subsequent steps, allowing for a more comprehensive review of the ignition system. Once repairs are made, final verification is crucial to ensure all issues have been resolved. This involves checking the HDS for any additional DTCs that may have appeared since the repairs were conducted. It's vital to confirm that the originally identified DTCs have been cleared and that the system is operating normally. The vehicle should undergo a short test drive to validate that the engine performs as expected under various operating conditions. Additionally, any new fault codes that may arise should be noted and addressed. This phase not only ensures the effectiveness of previous repairs, but also guarantees the vehicle is roadworthy and compliant with performance standards. As a preventive measure, regular inspections of ignition coils and their connections are vital for the longevity and reliability of the ignition system. Technicians should routinely examine ignition coils for signs of wear, damage, or corrosion. Additionally, checking electrical connections can prevent future intermittent faults that may not surface immediately, but could lead to significant engine performance issues. Keeping fuse and relay conditions monitored can also help in early detection of potential electrical problems. Regular maintenance can mitigate risks, ensuring optimal vehicle performance and enhancing overall durability. Proactive measures can save considerable time and costs associated with extensive repairs down the line. In summary, troubleshooting DTC P0351 through P0356 predominantly revolves around diagnosing issues within the ignition system. Identifying and replacing faulty ignition coils forms a core part of the repair process, along with ensuring that electrical connections are secure and operational. Proper steps including clearing DTCs using the HDS and methodically testing each component help to systematically identify root causes. Regular preventive maintenance can significantly reduce the chances of recurrence, leading to improved vehicle reliability. Ultimately, understanding the ignition system's roles, signs of malfunction, and diagnostic protocols contributes to prompt and effective repairs, ensuring the Honda Odyssey operates smoothly for years to come. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.